Hi, my name's Lucas and I'm part of the church family at Holy Trinity Spital. Welcome to our Sunday afternoon video series, Little Words, Big Ideas. Each week we'll simply be exploring one word found in the Bible and central to Christianity. And so whether you'd call yourself a Christian or you're somebody who's just looking into the Christian faith, we hope that these videos will be really helpful to you.
Well, good afternoon. Thanks for that introduction, Lucas. Well, many of you will know I'm Geff M. I'm a member here at Holy Trinity and involved in our 4:30 outreach service. Well, today I've been given the subject grace to talk about today. Now, perhaps for you, when I say grace, that for you just simply means a girl's name and nothing more than that, and you wonder, what has that got to do with Christianity? Well, perhaps when you think about it in terms of Christianity and about the Bible, perhaps it's as clear as that to you. It's as muddled as that. You're not really sure what it is at all. Perhaps for some of you, though, you can think back to your Sunday school days. Do you remember then you learnt about grace, and perhaps you learnt it this way: God's riches at Christ's expense. Do you remember that? Well, I was thinking about grace as our subject today, and I was thinking that if I was going to preach on this, don't worry, I'm not. You're not here for the next 20 minutes. If I was going to preach on this, I would choose this passage here from Ephesians chapter 4. That's a book in the New Testament, and I've chosen this one because it talks very much about God's grace, and it tells us very clearly what it is. It says, God, who is rich in mercy, made us alive with Christ, even when we were dead in transgressions. It is by grace you have been saved. Do you see that? Grace and salvation are linked together inextricably. They are linked together. You know, God's grace has been brought to you and revealed to you by the cross, by Jesus dying for you. And here is the wonder of God's grace. Here is the amazing fact of God's grace. This is the thrill. God's grace allows God to overlook your sin and mine, our faults, our failings. It allows them to overlook them and bless us. How good is that? You see, grace is a free gift from God that allows a God who is holy, without any faults or sin or any failings at all, and it allows him to have a relationship with even me and you, if you choose, through grace. Wonderful. It's even more amazing than that, you see, because grace is a gift from God. Now, if something is a gift, it's free. God's grace is exactly the same. You don't buy a gift, do you? If somebody comes and offers you a birthday present, you don't immediately reach for your wallet or your purse and say, how much? You accept it as it is, don't you? You just take it. Now, it may be something absolutely wonderful and you really value it. It could be something priceless and expensive. You'd value it even more. You don't have to pay anything for it. God's grace is just like that. It is a free gift, and it is so valuable. In fact, its value cannot be measured on this earth. Why? Because its value was simply the death of his own Son upon the cross. God gave his Son to die upon the cross that you might receive his grace free of cost, at great cost to God, but of no cost to us. But you know, think of the implications of that. It means that grace isn't something that relies upon anything that you do, something that you can work at or achieve or accomplish. No, it has nothing to do with that. That is irrelevant. So that means that the good things that you do for others don't count. That means that the good you do others doesn't count. It means that you can't say that you achieve a certain standard of morality and right behaviour. That doesn't count either. You know, it's not even a case of how much you know about God and how much of the Bible you know. Not even you get 100% in a Bible test at A level or beyond would mean. No, that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. God's grace is free and freely given. Let me ask you this question though, because this is the real nub of it. If God's gift of grace is free and available to all, which it is, how are you in relation to God? Have you accepted his grace? Do you want it? I suppose that's the real question. Do you want it? Do you know, I'm reminded of another promise in the Bible, another promise that God gives us, and it's this from the book of Proverbs, a book in the Old Testament. It says this: he gives grace to the humble. Not to the wealthy, not to those who feel they deserve it, not to those who feel they've earned it, not to those who are proud and too proud to come to God, not to those who are self-sufficient and feel that they do not need God in their lives. No. Are you humble enough to come to God and ask him for grace? You might feel that you're unworthy. You might feel that you've got a past that haunts you and makes you unworthy of God, of his great gift that's free. You might feel that things you've done and said and behaved mean that God cannot possibly want to give you his free gift of grace. Yet the truth is, he does. He does. He does. He wants you to experience his grace and begin a relationship with him. And I'll tell you this, one of the reassuring things about it is, in this simple schematic, God is bigger than you think he is. He's bigger than you think he is. And his grace is so much bigger than we imagine it to be, that it covers everything, all our failings and faults. And we are just so small compared to God and his grace. And yet he wants us to know him and be in relationship with him. So let me ask you the question. If this is God's expensive, valuable, free gift, what is your response? Are you humble enough to accept his grace or not? Do you want it or not? That's your choice. Thank you for listening. Remember, if there's anything you're not clear about or anything you want to ask, anything at all, just respond to got.questions. We'll do what we can. Thank you.